Are you serious, Gina? Inspector Gregson was... He was really shot? Wait, no one said anything about shot. I don't know much about what happened myself yet. Did she say shot? With a pistol, okay, he was shot. They're still there, investigating the scene. Where did this take place? A little rented room in a building full of flats on Fresno Street. The outskirts of town, nowhere near his home. He was perhaps investigating a case then. The thing is, no one at the yard knows nothing about no case around there. Oh, how strange. The boss was... He was so good to me. I know I ain't up to much yet, but one day I was gonna show him. I was gonna show him I'd become a proper detective. Oh gosh. And right before he wanted to transfer to Paris as well, bringing Gina along with him. Oh, Ginny. So, who did this? Do you have any idea who the culprit is? They got him already. Already? They've caught the shooter so soon? A witness reported something was going on and the boys got straight down there and took care of him. Do we of any person that we care about who's gonna be the culprit in this case? I don't think so. It can't be Gina because she wasn't there. So this means he wasn't like trying to protect Gina from the Reaper or anything like that. Sholmes and Iris were with us here. Susato is with me. We don't have anyone else. Kazuma! Kazuma Azuki! No! It's Kazuma, isn't it? Who? What awful person did this? It's Kazuma. I still can't believe it myself. Gina? It was the Reaper. The Reaper? Van Zieks? Wait a minute. You don't mean the Reaper? You mean Van Zieks? They've arrested Lord Van Zieks for it? That's right. That Reaper bloke's gone and shot the boss. No. Lord Van Zieks? Okay. Clearly, someone was missing from a list of people we care about. Are you quite sure, Miss Lestrade? It's Barak Van Zieks the police have arrested. I saw him with me, oh nice, in the interview room in the yard. I don't believe it. There were witnesses, and they were saying it was him. So you mean there were actually multiple witnesses? They heard the gunshot, apparently. And when our lot got to the scene, there was only the boss and that Reaper bloke in the room. A room? But there's no way Lord Van Zieks would have taken Gregson's life. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it either. Thank you for informing us, Miss Lestrade. This really is most terrible news. I'm dreadfully sorry. What are you saying sorry for? You didn't do nothing. Well, anyway, I'm taking a cab over to the scene right now. Please come and all, as soon as you can, you gotta help. Oh, Gina, I think it's better you stay at home. It's a detective's lot to appear wherever some sinister plot has unfolded. Little wonder we all look haggard. Sometimes these things are almost too much for the nerves. Mr. Sholmes. What use is there in being a great detective if I fail to see something like this coming, huh? How could I let this happen to Gregson? Are you blaming yourself? Don't. Mr. Naruhodo, I shall leave at once to begin my investigations. Of course, yes, we will too. It would be helpful if you could talk to Mr. Reaper and see what you can glean. I'm sure you were intending to do so anyway. Until later then. Wow, even with his hair, he's rattled enough to go out with this hair. Inspector Gregson dead and Lord Van Zieks arrested.
Runo, Susie, I've called you a hansom. It's waiting outside.
Thanks, Iris. Shall we, Mr. Sutter? Yes. Iris, are you staying here with Gina? Prison. Fresno Street? I thought we were gonna do to the prison. Like Sholmes asked us. Well, he's very composed, as always. There he is, Lord Van Zieks behind bars.
So it's true, he really was arrested.
Wait, hold on, if he's gonna be the accused, who's gonna be the prosecutor? Don't tell me it's Kazuma. Is it Kazuma? Please don't. He's sitting with his back to the wall, reading something. I don't think he's noticed us. Lord Van Zieks? Glare. Fancy meeting you here. The last place on Earth I'd like to be, with the last person on Earth I'd like to see. Come on! Really? I'm your friend, remember? Your learned Nipponese friend? I couldn't very well not come. We heard what happened. That Inspector Gregson was... Go home. This has nothing to do with you. But... Forgive me, Lord Van Zieks, but I must disagree. We're doing it for Gregson, you know, not for you, if that's what your problem is. Inspector Gregson was very helpful to us on a number of occasions. We're indebted to him. At the very least, we owe it to him to find out the truth. You must help us with our investigations, please. There's really nothing I can tell you. What were you just reading in the back of the cell there? Was it something related to the case? This? A letter. The Yard isn't quite so cavalier with its information as to share case details with the suspect. This is a letter from an old acquaintance. Professor Mikotoba? Oh, who might that be? Someone you know as it happens. Albert Hairbrain. Of course, yes. Yeah, I keep forgetting, but no, I don't. What are you talking about, Bruno? And I would like to read my correspondence in peace. So let's get this over with, shall we? So, is Hairbrain already back in Germany? Seems like he's alright. What is it you want to know? Strange. I mean, let's face it, Lord Van Zieks never minces his words. But they seem to have less bite than usual somehow. Really? I can't tell. Can you at least tell us your side of the story, Lord Van Zieks? What happened? How much do you already know? We know that the inspector was shot dead in a small rented room on Fresno Street, and that you were found there by the police when they arrived on the scene and immediately arrested. We were told that there was nobody else in the room and that some witnesses heard the gunshot. Then you're well informed, and there's really nothing I can add. But why were you there? And
The truth is, I don't know what happened myself.
memory loss? But the gunshot, obviously you didn't fire the gun, did you?
I'm not in the habit of shooting the people I walk alongside, no. I also heard the noise, however. Before I had a chance to investigate, I was apprehended by the arriving officers.
What? That is very suspicious. How did they arrive on the scene so fast? So he doesn't actually know what happened.
If I might ask, what were you doing in that place to begin with? I don't need to answer that.
Oh, that's very true, you don't.
After all, you're not representing me.
He's going to need a lawyer, though. Who is going to be representing you in court, Lord Van Zieks?
Anyone other than you, I should imagine.
What? Why? Do you hate me so much? What is happening? Do you not trust me?
Would I be right in assuming that you have no representation as yet? Defense lawyers shy away from any trial involving the Reaper, as I'm sure you know.
But you're not prosecuting. This is different.
In my career, of all the defendants I've prosecuted, only 19 have ever been acquitted. Of them, 16 subsequently died in mysterious circumstances. Questions will be asked now.
16, 19, 3 cases. 3 people who did not die? The 3 people I represented?
Surely not. I assure you, no defense lawyer will want to touch me with the end of a barge pole.
But you didn't actually have anything to do with those people's deaths, did you? Why did I have to ask like that? As I'm not sure myself whether to believe him or not.
It's been 10 years now that I've been known as the Reaper of the Bailey. Believe me, nobody wants to know the true identity of this killer more than I. However, it seems things may come to a head before I have the chance to uncover the truth about that.
What does he mean by that? What do you mean, Ryunosuke? Are you really that dumb? Like, he believes he's gonna be, like, spoken guilty, and then capital punishment will await him, and then he never has the chance to uncover the mystery about the Reaper who... And by the Reaper, I mean the person who's been killing all those people. Yeah, and it's obviously not him. After the trial, Professor Hairbrain was supposed to go straight back to Germany, I thought.
It's a letter to inform me of his safe arrival at home. I arranged his passage by sea and rail. It's a relief, I must say. He should now be beyond the reaches of the Reaper.
Because the Reaper doesn't follow people abroad, you mean?
Yes, so it seems. Your stooped little Nipponese friend, for example. You told me he was keeping well in Japan when I inquired the other day.
Yes, that's right. He's an author now, happily working in Tokyo.
So Professor Hairbrain is safely back in Germany now? He is. So, it appears our conversation has run dry.
There was a 2-second silence, that's all.
Well, in any event, if you'll excuse me now, I wouldn't like to detain you.
I was wondering, Lord Van Zieks, if you'd like... I'd be happy to advocate for you.
Hmm? You trust me, do you?
Yes. I've heard you speak many times in court. I've seen how you treat people. So I'm quite sure
that you would never have taken another's life. It's just, my feelings can't be used as evidence in a court of law, sadly. It's a very gracious offer, however. I trust no one. Oh boy. Especially not Nipponese people, am I right? What? Not the police, not the judiciary, and not you Nipponese. He didn't even say you defense lawyers, he just said you Nipponese. But please, I have no intention of engaging your services. The chasm between us is just too wide and too deep, it seems. I'd appreciate it if you don't visit again. Then neither of us will waste any more time. Oh my goodness, his stone cold heart. Perhaps we needed to dig a little deeper and find out more about Lord Van Zieks and what happened to Inspector Gregson. Okay. So you mean we should visit the crime scene? Wait! That photo... Is that Mrs. Vigil? This really is an out-of-the-way part of London. I doubt many people find their way down this back street. So this dust-ridden rented old room is where it happened then. So this is where poor Inspector Gregson lost his life. Yes, and the police are already hard at work investigating, it seems. I don't see Mr. Sholmes anywhere, though. Perhaps his investigations have taken him elsewhere. Oi! What do you think you're doing there? Every one of them drawers has gotta be taken right out so you can look underneath and all. I want the space above the ceiling checked, and don't forget to look inside the chimney stack too. Blimey, ain't you lot never gone over an house looking for dough when the owners are out of town? Gina's obviously got some unique investigative techniques she wants everyone to adopt. Oh, so you've turned up at last. Mind you, I ain't been here long myself. Hello again, Gina. Sholmes has only just left. You're lucky you missed that. He went prancing around in here, pointing at stuff and flicking that ad of his, and then just scuppered. Oh, he's finished investigating already, you mean? Yeah, he didn't stop to say nothing to no one, not even me. Gina, would you mind if we investigated too? Oh, official police business stuff like that. Now you're officially the successor of Gregson. You don't do things on the hush-hush. Listen, Otto. You're a lawyer, right? Yes. Why? Well, you're not thinking of trying to help that Reaper bloke, are ya? I am! What are you talking about? He definitely did not kill Gregson. Oh, poor Gina. She's never going to forget, is she? That trial will haunt her forever. Oh, her own trial. Ah, I see. Gina, if you don't mind me saying, if Lord Van Zieks really is responsible for this crime, he will be duly and fairly judged in court. I suppose you're right, yeah. Go on then, Otto. Get investigating. I want to know the truth about what really happened here. Good. Thank you, Gina. I'm not afraid of the truth, and you shouldn't either. Do we talk to her first? Gina, what was Inspector Gregson doing here in the first place?
That's what I wanna know. It's what? Over a year since I got out of the clink? That's when I decided to give up me diving and become a detective instead.
Oh yes, Mr. Sholmes twisted the inspector's arm to agree to take you on as an apprentice, didn't he?
Something like that, I think. Anyway, the point is, I didn't really know much about the boss till then. But it turns out, he's a bit of a legend at the yard. Goodness, really?
Yes, because of the stories.
They say he managed to solve some really tricky case, just like that.
Oh, so he's indeed talented, not only because of the stories.
He did? Yep, and ever since then, he started going out on all sorts of investigations, but always on his own. No one else at the yard even knows what half the cases he's working on are, apparently.
Talk about buzz factor.
He must have had like an office, a desk or something, where he keeps all his notes.
That's not how it's supposed to work, is it?
So what was the legendary inspector doing in a dingy little room like this? I know he had a lot of respect for the Reaper and all, and look where that landed him.
Respect for the Reaper? In what way?
I heard him say as much. I'd take my hat off to that fella, were his words.
Not how the general public feels, is it? Most people are terrified of the Reaper.
Yeah, the boss said that's exactly why he respected the bloke.
I didn't realize Gregson held the Reaper in quite such high regard.
He said something else to me and all, that I didn't need to worry about the Reaper, cause he only goes after the people who are bad. It did kind of set my mind at ease when he said that.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he had in mind, to set your mind at ease. Because what he told us is he was scared for Gina. That's why he wants to bring her to Paris with him, so he can protect her. Right?
What is this place then? Does anyone live here? Apparently it's been rented by some cove called Hugh Boone.
Hugh Boone? Hugh Boone! Huge bone. It's a sort of here today gone tomorrow name, that, isn't it? Don't tell me it's Mr. Vigil.
Yeah, he's what we call an unidentified person. We haven't been able to get in touch with him.
I see. Well, judging from appearances, I'd have to say this place hasn't been lived in for a long time, if ever.
Right? All the lads from the yard piled down to get stuck into the investigation, but there's so little here, no one knew what to do with themselves. I do wonder.
Yes?
Well, could it be that this Hugh Boone is in fact Inspector Gregson himself?
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense, maybe. If we didn't already know it was Mr. Vigil, it would make sense. How could that be?
Well, if he was investigating on his own, it's quite possible that this was in fact some kind of secret office of his.
I'd never even considered that.
Nice work, Zeus. We're actually following a line of inquiry like that ourselves.
You are?
If you look around the room, you'll see there's a few things that hint at it.
You mean the investigation board? We really should investigate.
I see, that's where the poor inspector was found, over there. Yeah, that's right. They said it was a single bullet what did him in. Apparently the bullet went right through him and struck that candle tree on the wall.
Oh yes, it's blown one of the candles apart completely.
But why is there no blood?
Isn't that weird? There should be blood spatters, right?
And the gun used is there on the floor. It's the Reaper's in it, no denying that. How do you know? What, really? How do you know that? Take it easy. I don't know what to do with myself when you stare at me with them big white eyes. I'm only saying what I've heard. I don't know much about guns myself. But there's some bigwig lawman or whatever who said so. Why don't you ask him? A bigwig lawman? Is it? Who is it? Anyway, Fresno Street runs along under that window there. There were some street sellers just outside who heard the gunshot. Oh, but I don't recall seeing anybody outside. Yeah, they've all been taken down to the yard for questioning, that's why. We're talking about the yard's legendary inspector here, after all. They'd be getting a grilling. Do you think we might be able to speak with those street sellers ourselves? I doubt it. The lads at the yard will just want to know what you're snooping for, and you'll be up for a grilling and all. So we can't interview the witnesses then? Shame. Okay, let's take a look around. God, this has to do something with the Red-Headed League. A pistol. And a doll? Oh, what's this? It would appear to be a little model policeman. It's rather charming, isn't it, in a way? Seeing as it's on the floor here, do you think it belonged to Inspector Gregson? It's a little hard to imagine Lord Van Zeek's playing with something like this. It's only about 8 centimeters tall. It could have fallen out of someone's pocket, I suppose. I think we should record it as evidence just in case. Yes, I agree. It is rather delightful after all, in a way. Excuse me?
If you look at all, not from the great beyond, Inspector, don't worry. We'll look after things on the yacht.
I've interrupted some deep thoughts there. You really should be investigating. What are you doing? The window is barred. Somebody's very haphazardly nailed those boards over the broken glass, haven't they? You couldn't even really call it a window anymore. Well, if you remember the window in Mr. Natsume's room, that was totally blocked up. This one does at least still let in some light, so you could say nothing more about it. I'm starting to feel even more sorry for Mr. Natsume now. The pistol. This is presumably the murder weapon then. Oh my, it is real, I suppose. I think so. Guns are so rare in Japan, I really know very little about them. There's one way to know for sure, Mr. Naruhodo. Fire a shot. I don't think I'm allowed to do that. No. If I did that, I'd be looking for a skilled lawyer to represent me in court. Slightly safer just to ask someone who might know, I think. Do you know? No, excuse me.
Sorry, sir, I can't see a thing, sir. Too many tears, sir.
Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. Right, perhaps I'd better leave you to your work then. So I suppose this is where the victim... That's right, the rope is laid around the body to show exactly how it was found. Wait, Gregson was wearing the wig? Poor Inspector Gregson himself has already been taken away. And would probably be under Dr. Scythe's scalpel by now, if not for what happened last week. From the shape of the rope, it would appear that the inspector was curled up in a ball. Are you feeling alright, Mr. Naruhodo? You look like you've just seen a ghost.
I know it's just a rope, but, well, it conjures up quite a terrifying image, that's all. Especially with that bloodstain next to it.
Oh, I do understand. In some ways, what we picture in our minds can be even worse than reality.
Susato-san is so strong, though. She's taking this far better than I am.
Ever since we came in here, I can't take my eyes off this thing. Oh, and funnily enough, neither can I. It's a hairpiece, isn't it? It is. A bright red hairpiece.
And I suppose the fact that it's right there next to where the body was found means we have to accept that Inspector Gregson wore wigs, does it?
And in such a flame-colored red too.
Yes, that's a color we've come across very recently elsewhere, isn't it?
Exactly. This is a vital clue, I'm sure of it.
The top of one of the candles in this candle holder has been completely blown off.
Yes, there's wax spattered on the wall behind, look.
I suppose if a bullet had hit...
It does seem likely that a bullet hit the candle, having first passed through the inspector's body.
No, that wax on the wall looks like blood to me. What wax on the wall? What are you talking about?
Oh goodness, I'm so tired today.
I woke up at 7:30 and usually I wake up like way later.
I'm a night person.
An empty fireplace makes the room feel even colder than it would be otherwise, doesn't it?
It's thick with dust, look. I think it would be fair to say it hasn't been used in a very long time.
In other words, whoever lived in this room must have been extremely hardy in cold weather.
Or nobody lived here at all and merely visited when the occasion arose. I wouldn't like to say which is more likely.
No, that's right. It's one or the other. I think Susato is right.
Oh, it's a photograph stand. I suppose it must be a picture of one of Inspector Gregson's family members.
What's the matter? Your eyes look like they're about to pop out.
They are, look. Mr. Naruhodo, quickly.
I knew it. Why do I feel like this woman is familiar somehow? Ryunosuke.
Of course she's familiar. We met her only this morning.
It's
Mrs. Vigil.
This
makes no sense. Why would there be a picture of Mrs. Vigil in here?
Oh, Mrs. Vigil did say to Gregson that... okay, she said she went to the police and reported her husband missing. Maybe Gregson took matters into his own hands and came here to investigate. To be frank, I don't think I've ever been more stumped.
I'm sorry to say I have no idea either. This looks like some sort of notice board or something.
And it's absolutely covered in scraps of paper.
Mr. Naruhodo, look.
Does you mean? It's an autopsy report, isn't it?
And these are case notes here, and details of prison inmates.
Yes, In fact, they are all the sort of documents that only a detective could normally acquire. Or an ex-prison warden. Senior prison warden. Something something. What on earth went on in this room? Some old newspaper cuttings. Ah, and this one here. Oh yes, the advertisement, you mean? To the Red-Headed League. But why? What's that doing here? Whoever occupied this room was clearly interested in it for some reason. Excuse me?
Oh, Inspector! Oh, sir!
Poor man, he can't possibly be able to focus on investigating when he's so upset. Oh god, these policemen are useless. Completely, utterly useless. Have we investigated everything? Okay, if so, what are we gonna do?